Yo, what's going on? All right. You know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6. We can get this started. Look like it's going to be a slow night tonight. Everybody sleep. I might start moving these shows up to like earlier on Sundays, because I notice when I do them on like Tuesday nights or something like that around 8, a lot more people are watching. People probably sleep. People out doing other stuff, but they usually just catch the replay, so it's all good. Usually average about like about a buck 50 views within the first week, which is not too bad for a small YouTube channel. And it's usually the same cats watching the videos, which is cool. We got a nice little small community and a bunch of trolls up on here. So how y'all feeling today, and how was your weekend? How's everything going with y'all? Me personally, just chilling pretty much. I ain't do too much this weekend. Um, you know, just got back in town from last week, so I'm settling in still. Sleep schedule's still kind of messed up. You go out of town, hanging out and stuff, and you end up coming back. The sleep schedule's all screwed up, but it ain't too bad though. But yeah, yeah, as far as the broadcast goes, like I'll go ahead and just we'll chat for a bit, drop some bars on this joint, probably take questions today, and we might be out here early tonight. So let me drop this here, this link. We can start off here. I wanted to bring up something I had. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to bring up something I had spoke to about an interesting topic that a lot of people who are using the passport. I know some people aren't using the passport. Some people are. Interesting bit of information I was able to get today. So I had sent the Department of State a Freedom of Information Act to actually get back the packet that I had sent in to get the foreign national, state citizen, American national passport, whatever the hell you want to call it. But basically, the passport, pretty much all the process that we've all used. Um, and this had been about like 3.5 months ago. This is a while ago. I sent it in. I did get it notarized, and I did slide that to him. I might not have sent it to the right division because I still haven't gotten anything back yet. But I talked to a very reliable source of mine just yesterday, and he was telling me that what he went ahead and did was, which I'll show you guys how to do it. It's very easy. But if you got a passport, in case you get hemmed up in court or something, he was saying he was able to use this. So if you get a ticket or something like that and you end up going to court, he was basically saying you can probably use what I'm about to show you. So this is just information. Again, this isn't, I don't give no legal advice or nothing like that. We just discuss information and different techniques. So let's get into it. All right. You share the screen right here. It's very simple, man. So to get that Freedom of Information Act, they give you a gold stamp seal packet, and what it comes with is a letter on the front that basically says from the commissioner of the Department of State or such. He has like a basically just pretty much information on there discussing exactly what the information is in the packet, and then it's got the gold seal in the lower left hand corner along with a law right underneath it. You flip that bad boy and it's got more paperwork, and you flip it again and it's got your passport application, and it has how they stamped and marked it down. And on the bottom, if you look all the way on the bottom left side, if you filled the paperwork out correctly, it should say state citizen on the left lower side, or it might say sovereign or national, pretty much. Because one of the three things, if I'm not mistaken. And the dude that it was a private meeting we had did, but the dude that I had saw his paperwork with, his actually said national, and it said basically sovereign on the other side. So that's that's living proof. People trying to deny. You got the Southern Poverty Law Center basically throwing dirt all over the place, saying people are loonies for believing it's possible to be a sovereign and not a U.S. citizen. You got all these other. You got the news basically throwing dirt all over people, which we're gonna get into the Moors thing too. Let me write that down. I've been wanting to cover that for a week now, but I've kept overseeing. I keep having an oversight, not catching it. So we're gonna get into that too. So let me mark that down so I don't forget. But yeah, I want to look at the video pretty much, and we're gonna discuss that also. Um, moving tactfully and stuff like that. But let's start off with this one. So let's share this screen right here. Get to it. Get to it. Get to it. All right, right here. All right, boom. So here it is. The USCIS, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. So boom, you jump right on this website, right? Now, what we want to do is get a Freedom of Information Act, pretty much. So, Freedom of Information Act, for those of you who don't know, you should know this if you're on the channel looking at this kind of stuff. If not, this is probably not even the place for you with this general discussion. So, with the Freedom of Information Act is basically, it's pretty much, yes, it was an act that was put in place so that you were able to get documents from the government that weren't classified. So that's why, documents, when they get declassified and they've already been redacted and all that stuff, they come out for public consumption. There's been lots of documents that have been declassified lately from, I believe it was the CIA, and they've actually got some really good ones if you guys should look into them. I was just looking over one just this week, and they covered meditation, and they covered what is it? What is the out of body experience? I'm brain dead right now. But yeah, basically all that stuff. Telekinesis. I mean, all of these are things that they dropped of basically information on for their research. And this was stuff that was being kept classified for a while because they were researching it to see if it could be used for purposes for the government. And the government tries to find anything they can get their hands on, and they try to weaponize that bad boy. So that's probably what they were doing. But there was something they had done with a guy named Uri Geller, if I'm not mistaken. This guy was supposed to be a real powerful psychic, and they were able to actually use his ability. And from the test they had done, from what I understand, he was able to tell exactly what the drawing was that was being depicted. Like they were testing him to see if he knew what was being drawn 3 rooms away or whatever through telekinesis, and he was getting them right. So it was like, yo, it's something to this. So they started studying the brain synapses and things like that, and starting to look into how the mind worked. And they ended up finding out a whole bunch of real interesting information. So if you do find that kind of thing interesting, you might want to look into that. So boom, let's get into this right here. All right, so look, we on the USCIS website. Drop all the way down here. All right, so there's a section at the bottom. It's got all that good stuff down here. It's like kind of like an index, if you would. Go under policies and drop down the Freedom of Information Act. Click that bad boy right there. And this is what you want to follow to get your information. Now we're gonna get into this other thing too, but boom. Request records through the Freedom of Information Act or Privacy Act. So you can pretty much go from there and do that. Follow these directions. And what they'll do is, from what I understand, it takes you a few and you can look all this way, how to make a request, all that stuff, where to make your request. So whatever you're trying to find is right there. Like I said, from what I understand, it's going to take you about 3 to 4 months to get your stuff back. So good idea to get on it as soon as you can if you're out there using a passport. Then if you get in a situation where you got to come to one of those lower level courts, you have solid evidence that you are not a U.S. citizen. I mean, affidavits and things of that nature should work too. Declarations, because if you're a state citizen, you really don't need affidavits. You're just making declarations because you're basically one of the people. So with that said, yeah, you can do that pretty much and just slide that in. And everybody knows, like, when you slide in an affidavit to court, you don't necessarily have to be there because your affidavit goes in for you. So there you have it. So this is something we had talked about, and I just saw this, but check this shit out right here. Look at this. Freedom of Information and Privacy Act, genealogy. So we were talking about the stars and things of that nature. Nobody exactly knows what they mean, really. And some people were speculating that depending on who your ancestors were, you might get more stars than other ones. And somebody had asked, well, how would they know who your ancestors are? And I was like, yo, they got records of all this stuff. They keep records of this stuff. And I was talking to Courtney Knowledge Roll about this too, and he was basically saying that I think it's another department each state has basically, but they changed the name of the department, but they were actually in charge of basically vital records. I think it was vital records, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm actually wondering if this right here could be something that you could Freedom of Information Act to find out exactly who your ancestors were, or what information or what papers they have on who you were related to. That's interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look on. I'm gonna have to look into this on my spare time, man, because that's some pretty cool stuff right there. All right, so boom. Again, to wrap it up, you want to drop all the way down at the main page to Freedom of Information Act and the policies. You click that and you just follow the directions, and it shows you how to get your documents there. And everything is pretty much sealed and stamped by them. So they're low level courts that try to overstep and step all over your rights and shit like that. You know, that's a good thing that you can actually use to make sure that don't happen. So yeah, there you have it. There you have it, man. Good stuff. Good little nugget I had found. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because I heard somebody, I think Akeem L was talking about that too. And that dude's very sharp guy indeed. Um, and he was mentioning, you know, to basically do a Freedom of Information Act, but I don't remember him breaking down exactly how to do it. And if he did, I probably didn't see the video. Let me take some questions. What up, consultant? How you feeling, man? What it is? Always a pleasure, Mr. Bennett. Always a pleasure, man. I mean, Mr. Bennett's always coming in here blessing us with knowledge. We love to hear it, bro. Thanks for stopping in. Go back up. Court for a ticket, one simple way. There are others. Your name, I am a United States of America national. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, not a United States citizen. Vacate for lack of jurisdiction. Are you talking about an affidavit? That would make sense if you did that. I thought it was Article 4, Section 2, Subsection 1 for state citizens, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not. I gotta look up what you're talking about with the Article 1 there. Out of body astral projection. That's what it was. Yeah, the astral projection. Exactly. They released the papers on that bad boy. So yeah, there's a whole. I think there's over like they released over 30,000 or something like pages worth of stuff involving stuff like that. It was crazy, and it's like you'll never be able to read all that. So it's just too much. It's a smorgasbord of information. So you just got a lot of stuff there. But if you have time, man, I actually started reading. I got like page 6 or 7. Yo, take a look at that bad boy, man. Your face moving. Yo, it's interesting. Yo, this guy, Uri Geller, he was actually the Pokemon Kadabra was named after him. And in Japan, the Pokemon's name is Ungeller, which is Yuri Geller basically. So there's like a little play on words. And I got my man Consultant in here. What up, Consultant? How you
What's going on, bro?
my man? We in here talking about this, that, and the third. My man said drawing remote viewing. Yeah, that's what it was, remote viewing. He was able to somehow like use his mind. Now, I'm pretty sure we all can do it with the right training and the right diet and all that good stuff. I'm pretty sure everybody can do it. It's just, you know, some people have that stronger muscle than others. But I mean, yeah, this is I actually listened to a guy named there's a guy, what's his name? True Life Tools. And the New Life Tools is what his name is. Very interesting guy on YouTube. If you can catch him, watch his videos. Though. That guy's sharp. He talks about spirituality, crystals, angels, demons, all this stuff. And I'm into all that. So the dude was saying that once upon a time, humans used to have all these abilities and things of that nature, like would be able to fly, energy beams, psychic powers, all that stuff. And they were pretty much just running around the earth, just pretty much, you know, doing whatever they wanted to. And the thing was, they were created by, I think he said it was the Anunnaki or something like that.
Mm.
And they were pretty much the gods in the other realm. So the humans, they got so big headed, they evolved to a point where they got so strong, they actually, which falls under the story of the Tower of Babel, they actually wanted to create a Stargate or something like that so they can get to the other dimension and fight the gods because they felt like they could beat the gods. But the thing about it was the gods was so much stronger and advanced technology wise than the humans were. But the humans at that rate they were evolving were going to surpass the gods. So there ended up being a battle. The humans got their asses whipped. And as a result, they were all scattered all over the place. And then they were stripped of their DNA down to a 2-strand. And now they have to work their way back up to consciousness. And he was saying this very similar to how Thor in the movie, he got his hammer taken away by Odin because he was being a spoiled brat. And he had to work up his worthiness to be able to lift his hammer again. And I mean, this all falls back to that thing where Hollywood always tells you what they're going to do before they do it, or they'll tell you the truth, but they'll obscure it in like a comic or something like that so nobody thinks anything of it. But yeah, it's True Life Tool. Very, very knowledgeable dude. His name is your brother Yusuf. Real smart guy. I ordered a copy of my. Yeah, I'm on it, man. I'm on that. I beat all traffic tickets without even stepping into court. It's rather easy, meaning if they give it to me and bypass the passport. Yeah, see this guy right here. You need to drop your email address, man, or email me, man, because we need to be chatting back and forth, yo. As you got the keys, man. He got the keys. What up with you, though, consultant? You over there sitting in the chat. What up with you,
Oh,
man?
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. Just chilling.
Work, relaxing. You still on vacation, man?
Nah.
I gotta holler at you too, man. I got a question, couple questions off right in the private. We'll get to that later though.
All right.
But I know you always busy. I'll be trying to tie you down all the time.
I'm good, bro.
Yes, sir. No, you tell the judge on this on paperwork. Okay. Okay, got you. Article 1, Section 8. You know what? I keep a copy of the Constitution. Hey, if y'all are doing this, type of stuff, you jump right on your app, on your Google Play or your Apple Store or whatever, and get a copy of the U.S. Constitution. It's good to have. So you need to know how these people operate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got one right here. So let's look at what you're talking about and read it off. Article 1. This is the legislative branch, Section 8. Powers of Congress. Clause 17. All right, so boom, on the powers of Congress to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square. Bing! As may be session of particular states and acceptance of Congress become the seat of the government of the United States and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be for the eradication of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, such and such. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what he's talking about right there.
You know, it'd be crazy about that, even if you do. Oh, is that me echoing?
Is it? I think I don't hear no echo on mine.
All right, but yeah, what's crazy about that is like even if you do notice the judge or whatever, if they're not privy to the information, they'll think that it's like what do they call it, nonsense or whatever the case may be, and just run over you on that aspect. Because I had that happen to me before, and I had to like put them in their place, kind of like educate them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though ignorance of the law is no excuse, they have one, I guess. So,
Yeah. Oh shit, man! I've heard about people putting liens on them, some bitches for real.
you go to jail for that.
I'm just saying, I heard about that shit in the past. People put liens on them, like, god damn, bro.
Hey, you know what their mistake was? Putting a lien on the office of being a judge or the capacity of a judge.
You put it
on the man or woman, but not like the person, the legal capacity.
Fiction. Right. Yeah. Exactly. What up, Tony? How you feeling, man? Always a pleasure to have you in here. Keith Lamont, consultant. I need to donate to you to help me with summary judgment. You gotta holler at the American National Consulate, bro.
Yeah.
That's what CERN is for, getting the other realm to be accessible here. Yeah. And I was thinking about CERN too, yo. Like somebody had told me the first time they cranked CERN up, that's why everything's fucked up. Like that's why the Mandela effect happened and all that stuff. Because when they rounded that bad boy up, they pretty much ripped us the damn time-space continuum or something, and they messed up the history in a lot of different dimensions. So like, yo, when two dimensions are very similar, but they're not exactly the same, and there's like a rip between the two, that's when history and stuff like that you used to remember starts to get messed up. Now, I specifically remember some of those Mandela effects being what it was, and multiple people remember Sinbad having a movie called Shazam, but apparently I saw the movie. I remember I watched the movie. I watched the movie at my mom and dad's house when I was like 11 or 12. And the movie was basically about this kid who he moved into a different area. So his parents divorced, moved into a different area. And in the attic there was, I think it was either a chest or something. And then the genie popped out or whatever. And then that's what it was. And I also saw the Kazam movie with Shaq. So I know that's not the same movie.
Right.
Kazam movie was terrible, by the way.
You know what's crazy about that?
What?
Most people think that it's like outside, like the whole like space-time continuum and stuff. The only thing that keeps time is you. They manipulate the subconscious. That's what TV is for, all the images, graven images and things like that. They manipulate the subconscious. I think even Carl Jung, or whatever his name is, he used to talk about it and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. The subconscious. They even do it with airwaves, man.
Mm-hmm.
They do it with the radio waves and stuff like that, man. It's like a constant beat down, like of just lowering your frequency. And like you can avoid it by like turning some of this shit off, but some people are so addicted and drawn to it they can't get off of. Even with cell phones, like
Mm-hmm.
constantly staring at a cell phone all the time, electronics that can interfere with your consciousness level too. You need a copy of both versions, organic and the fake corporate version. They're still waiting on being Sex in the City Mandela effect. Wait, what happened with the man? Whoa, what happened with Sex in the City, bro? Because I didn't never hear about that one. That's a new one. I never heard about that. Corpus Juris Secundum, Volume 7, Section 4. Lawyer's job is to help the courtroom win his office. Absolutely. Yo, I've heard hella stories about lawyers, bro. Like, I heard some wild stories about lawyers. Wild stories. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bruh, lawyers are definitely a part of the club, yo. And like, think about it, yo. These lawyers are playing golf with judges and shit like that. These dudes are all, going to each other's bar mitzvahs and shit like that, kids' bar mitzvahs and all that stuff, man. At the end of the day, bro, like all these dudes are connected, man. So like, you're not gonna just go and pay all this money to a damn lawyer and expect him to help you out. I mean, at the end of the day, he's gonna do his best for the court. It's like a club, yo. It's a gang.
It's true.
It's a legal gang. That's what it is. But yeah, and that's what it is, man. Like as far as that goes. So I know I actually got in a situation once. I got lucky though, because my shit wasn't serious. My shit was some like no injured party type shit when I was younger. It was some bullshit. Actually, it was bullshit because the police officers pretty much was mad because we was trolling the shit out of them. And you know how police get when you troll them and shit like that.
Right.
They start to try to take revenge on you and stuff, which is actually illegal as fuck by their statutes. They can't really do a revenge arrest. But that's what happened to us though. Consider the time is a construct that we are in. God is out of time, space, and matter. You know what I think, bro? I have a deep suspicion that time is directly connected to gravity. Like, think about it. What are the two things you can't stop? "Quote unquote" time and gravity.
True.
There was actually now I don't know how true this is, but there was actually I think there was some kind of test they had done where they had twins, and one of them stayed here on Earth, and the other one went to outer space for a few years. And the one that went to outer space, when he came back, the twin was actually older than him for some reason, and he stayed younger. So is it a situation where the stronger gravity is, the faster time goes? Like, how does that work, or is it the other way around? That's what I would speculate.
I have to get on my astrophysicist studies.
I ain't no astrophysicist, bro, and I cannot stand math. I'm just a guy that likes to think. That's all. I don't like math though. Fuck that. What's the crazy thing, yo? When I was in school, teachers used to say, yo, you need to know how to do this because you're not gonna always have a calculator nearby. You motherfucking liars.
Right.
We walk around with calculators 24/7. Y'all lied to me. Not the first thing they lied about, though. All right. This is why they got rid of the organic Article 13, no title of nobility. Mandela effect equals example equals Sex in the City versus Sex and the City. Hold on. It was always Sex in the City. I thought. Wait, what? Is it Sex and the City or Sex in the City? I remember Sex in the City.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Sex in the City.
Crazy. It's always something. Exactly. In the bar association is just a club. That's it. Yep. All right. Look, I'm gonna jump over to this topic right here because I've been meaning to cover this for a minute now. Now, these dudes were tripping. Hold on one sec. Let me get this up. These dudes were bugging out, and we all know when we move around, we like to move incognito. We don't want to be drawing heavy attention to ourselves, but these dudes did not for a reason. So let's look at this.
It's about 4 a.m. It's so we've been out here since 1:53 a.m. It is July 3rd, 2021. We are in North America, Morocco. We are on the Interstate 95 near exit 57.4.
It was just bizarre. Now, this weekend, 11 heavily armed men wearing tactical gear and claiming exemption from U.S. law and state law shut down part of a Massachusetts interstate during a traffic stop. Well, they say they're part of a group that calls themselves the Rise of the Moors and say they were on their way to, quote, training. Well, the entire ordeal, it ended after an 8-hour-long standoff with police, and for reference, the Capitol breach lasted about 3 hours. Now, some of the members were arraigned yesterday in what became a pretty chaotic hearing.
I photographed food in New York, in Philadelphia, in Paris. DocuSign makes it easier for me to.
How can I get a probation? How can I ask these questions for probation if I'm not in charge? I'm not committing a crime. I'm not guilty. I'm not sovereign. I'm national. All right, we're saying I have 13 for full amendment fictitious entity. I am a free bull. I am a national. I didn't agree, man. I'm not a fictitious.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This shit is coming off kind of CIA-ish, yo. Like,
Yep.
this don't feel organic at all, bro. And like, to be honest with you, man, with everything that's going on, with people starting to wake up and people starting to realize they don't want to be U.S. citizens, I would not be surprised if this shit was a CIA op, yo.
They're finna make it look crazy.
Exactly.
It's a reasonable question to ask. Why isn't this being covered by the media, and what else do we need to know about them? Well, joining me now are two men who know these types well. Todd McGee, former Massachusetts State Trooper, and Chris Swecker, former FBI Assistant Director. Todd, now, you know this group. I've never heard of this group before, but you know them well from your time as a state trooper up there. Now, what can you tell us?
Well, I think we first need to point back to sovereign citizen ideology. Sovereign citizen ideology.
And here we go with the sovereign citizen ideology. They tying all that shit in. Like, literally, you could be literally quoting the Constitution word for word, and these motherfuckers holler sovereign citizen out of nowhere. Like, it never fails.
Is recognizing the recruitment tools and the propaganda that's used by the Rise of the Moors and other Moorish groups such as this, and they will point to things such as the treaty dating back to 1777. I've also seen dates of 1787, which was a treaty between the United States and the Moroccan in the country of Morocco. Well, what that treaty was about maritime laws for maritime that allowed privilege of the United States and the privileges for the Moroccan country, their maritime, to support privileges based on economic, not treaties for citizens, but economic reasons.
See, now look, if you hear what he did, he just did some slick word salad shit. Yo basically just said the treaty was for maritime, which we all know this is a maritime jurisdiction with these courts. Mm-hmm. And then he tried to spin it back and say not treaties for citizens. So basically he's trying to say that they're citizens, not Moorish nationals or whatever. And he's basically trying to say this shit ain't really maritime jurisdiction too. So he knows I think he accidentally said this shit about maritime, and then he had to spin it back for citizens for real. That's what it kind of felt like to me.
Just like sovereign citizens will also use maritime laws in order to confuse law enforcement during motor vehicle stops. So we have to understand that they don't recognize themselves as sovereign citizens. However, their ideology is closely aligned to sovereign citizen ideology.
Very bizarre. Well, Chris, here's what one of the men said about their supposed rights.
In law, we don't break the law of God against the law. They have the right to having no tags, no licenses, or no registration.
Chris, again, I think most people are just shocked by this. Also shocked, but maybe not all that shocked that the media gave it a pretty much of a big yawn over the weekend. Again, what do Americans need to understand about this?
Yeah, these groups emerged in the 90s, different iterations of the Moorish nation, sovereign nation, what have you. I dealt with them when I was the head of the FBI in North Carolina. They don't recognize any authority whatsoever, but they're basically a criminal organization.
Now listen to these motherfuckers. Listen to these. They literally just said these dudes is criminal organization, and I ain't a pro Moore guy, and I'm not anti Moore. I'm just more or less commenting on what they're talking about. They're basically saying that these dudes are a criminal organization. Yet you literally have courts that are forcing people to come in the court and forcing people to act as U.S. citizens and forcing money out of their pockets, which is basically RICO pretty much. And yet they're saying these guys are the criminals because they're exercising constitutionally protected rights. Now, again, this sounds CIA-ish, but let's just look at it from a logical standpoint for a minute. And if these guys are 100%, legit or authentic, and these guys weren't CIA operatives, this would be like super sudden. Like, bro, what are you talking about, y'all? Did you even read the fucking Constitution? You took an oath to uphold. You know what I mean? And that dude was an FBI, the head of the FBI, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of the heads of the FBI. And the other guy was a state trooper. You know, that just goes to show you how far away they are.
A set of criminal organizations that wrap themselves in some convoluted political ideology, basically to justify committing crimes. And the crimes they commit, they're prolific fraudsters. They'll take over someone's home, file quit claim deeds, and then move into the home while they're not there.
Well, I don't know about the quit claim deeds. I've heard stories about that. I'm not sure how that works just yet, but I am 100% aware that these motherfuckers are playing games with people's brains, bro. And if anybody doesn't know anything about these groups or anything about rights or anything like that, they would take this at face value and just accept it, which is what most people, the U.S. citizens, do. They hear something, they run with it for real. They don't do any research themselves. And that's the problem. You got these news outlets that are pretty much spinning people to think a certain way, and people don't have the ability or capacity to do any independent research, and boom, they just demonize a group like that. Now, you could be completely in the right with all kinds of treaties, papers, documents, everything. It doesn't matter. These dudes will spin the public to think one way, and once they get the public to agree, that's pretty much it.
They commit tax fraud, file false tax returns. They killed over a dozen police officers since 2002, in particular in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. One Moorish nation individual killed 3 officers and wounded 3 others. So they present a clear and present danger to
I know who he talking about.
Nobody should take.
I didn't hear about that.
He talking about damn, his name Gavin. He was the dude, the Baton Rouge shooter. I got let me be quiet. But yeah.
Damn, I didn't hear about that shit. How long ago was that?
Oh, this was I was in Thailand at the time too. So this is like 2015, 2016. I'm gonna hit you up and show you what I was talking about. I'm gonna show you something else too.
Yeah, slide that in the private, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this. Hold up.
Take them lightly. They aren't some benign political organization. That's just a facade.
And Todd, another member.
So let's get this straight. These dudes are supposed to be dangerous to police officers. There was an 8-hour standoff, and not one shot was fired. And then when the original police officer came up to question them about them having quote unquote weapons, they basically did not shoot him and did not confront him, like point any guns at him. They basically ran in the woods. So these mofos had AR-15s and all these other types of guns slung over their shoulders, according to what these newscasters are saying. And when backup arrived for police, they ran in the woods. So I don't know, man. That doesn't sound too dangerous to me. That sounds like a group who wanted to be non-combative, because anybody knows that they wanted to be combative, they could have been, and it could have been bloody, but it doesn't look like it was. So I mean, that's just my 2 cents, though.
spoke about what they claimed were their travel plans.
Stop taking your generic.
I think that's going to be enough right there. But I mean, yeah, if you want to take a look at that, you can watch the rest of the video. That is Fox News, which, you know, it's still a newscast. People like to think it's left and right. Ain't no left and right. It's all the same shit. They're all owned by the same people. So the left and right agenda is pretty much out. But I mean, as far as trying to like spin it so that people, you know, who don't know anything about any of this stuff we study, they'll watch something like that. They'll develop an opinion just because they were told what to think. Oh, they kill police officers. They don't want to follow the laws or nothing like that. Meanwhile, they don't even really know the majority of the statutes and codes and regulations they follow are not actual laws.
Right.
That's the crazy thing. They call them laws because they want you to think they're freaking laws, but the only law of the land is the Constitution. So as far as not having to have any licenses and shit like that, technically you're not supposed to. Your Second Amendment right is not supposed to be infringed upon.
I mean, look at the definition of a license, goddammit.
Right. The definition of a license is basically permission. So you asking permission to have your Second Amendment. You don't need to ask permission to have your rights.
Permission to do something immoral.
Immoral, right. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nothing immoral about walking around with an AR-15 slung around your back. Now, it might scare some motherfuckers, but that's only because we've gotten to a point where people ain't used to seeing people walking around strapped like that. Because rights have been moved so far to the background, like, yo, people's safety and comfortability have been put ahead of people's rights. You know, so if you walk down the road with an AR-15 on your back, you're going to scare the shit out of some Karen. She going to call the police on you. Next thing you know, you running in the woods for your life and shit, you know?
And if this has been going on in the 90s, and if it's such a danger, how come it was never on the news?
Exactly.
And such, you know, why didn't y'all claim for them to be a terrorist organization? You know why?
Exactly.
Because those people had the power to sue you, and they was suing you.
They were suing them?
What?
Damn.
Yeah, that was, hey, that's how the judges got liens on them. Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is, bro. You play stupid games, you win stupid-ass prizes. And they know they wrong. That's why, you know, it's basically just it's a shaming tactic. That's all it basically is. They know they wrong, yo. They know they ain't got no say on that shit. So, boom, let's get to some more comments. Object medium emojis and goes up or down, floats in midair. Okay. Yeah, he said with the gravity argument we had, buoyancy, Sex in the City. That's wild. Because I remember it being Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Rhode Island territory. Oh man, here comes a new challenger. We got my man Knowledge well in the house. What up, Knowledge?
Hey, what's going on? I'm driving around, so if it gets too bad, I'll
doing what?
Driving around.
What?
Driving.
I'm hearing some static. What?
Yeah. Okay. I'm traveling.
There you go.
I'll play the game.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What y'all?
How was your weekend, bro?
Oh, it was great, man. Just staying busy. The security paper that came in, I'm happy about that.
Oh, that's what it is.
Right.
You must be happy. You got the Bill Cosby hat on.
But y'all always roasting each other.
Don't start. Don't start. Don't even start. I'm feeling good tonight. Don't even start.
Man, cool. Now you looking spiffy, bro. You good. All right, let's get to some more comments. He done effed up saying he's not guilty. Exactly. I was thinking that when he said it, but I got distracted by all the other bullshit we were hearing him say. But yeah, he played the game when he said I'm not guilty. Like, oh, you want to so you want a controversy then? So you want to participate in controversy? Controversies for court. You're in a perfect place for controversy. So yeah, he definitely messed up by saying he's not guilty. A6, my thoughts exactly. I've been pushing paperwork in the territory of Rhode Island for a while now. It makes me think. The bar is a foreign emolument. This is domestic violence article 4, section 4. Let me read that.
You guys talking about the Moors?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Them boys wild, yo. Them boys wild, man. Like, I mean, it feels very. It don't feel real to me, man. That doesn't feel like a real confrontation, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I know a few Moors, and I don't know any Moors that would do any shit like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know any of them that look like that.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I mean, but that shit felt very synthetic. It didn't feel real.
Well, you're gonna have lookalikes with any that are gonna piggyback and try to jump on any movement or what have you. So that's why I always make sure to say, as far as the American National on this side of the pond, that we just don't play any games. We don't have any time for any games. Any riffraff or anything like that. We can't. That's why. This is the whole reason why I say that all the time. Because there are going to be individuals that are going to want to be sympathizers with us and are going to try to piggyback off and use some of our material and some of our information for nefarious activities. And so that's why it's important that we nip this in the bud now and take a stance on that.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Also note this too: private American National Union, member of the United States of America, privately inhabiting and privately domiciled outside the federal zone within non-military occupied private state are not subjected to the jurisdiction of the United States or the District of Columbia, protected by Article 23 of the Hague Treaty.
Hey.
Yeah. John, exactly. The bar is a foreign entity of the United States of America. Yep. And some guy was getting irritated because I kept saying foreign national. Last video I did, he ain't here now, thank God. This dude was trolling all week. And I guess, I don't know. I said something to ruffle his feathers. I think he said he had 7 stars on his passport. And I said, bro, you don't have 7 stars on your fucking passport, man. Stop playing with me. I guess he got mad about it or whatever. So I'm like, bro. So I kept saying foreign national. Dude was like, you're a rookie. You don't know what you're talking about. You saying you're a foreign national. Like, bro, I'm foreign to the United States corporation. I ain't with that shit. So, learn the terminologies. The Moors made treaties with these parasites, what they expected. Yeah, that's a good point. How about that? This is a construction of the adversary. Yes, sir. That's what I said, man. Construction of the adversary. Yep, I agree. Sims versus Irons, the practical law is the occupation of common law. You don't play with the Moors in court. They were sued. What? You don't play with the Moors in court. They were sued that shit out of here. Okay. But yeah, the Moors. I know a few of them, and like I've known guys that when they go in the court, they present like an affidavit, and then they'll show up just to show up for shits and giggles, and immediately the judge calls them up, and they basically say what they got to say, and they just say dismiss and go right to the next case because it ain't worth fucking with them. Like they start putting that information out in the public for people to hear, and they start to realize what the hell happened. And the affidavit he showed me, it was packed with so much good shit, between treaties, between the United States and that particular group, laws and stuff, case law that was put in place, a whole lot of different goodies that were in there, man. But they just dismissed the shit out the case at that point. They don't want that smoke.
Yeah, they each one of those judges have discretionary power as gatekeepers of their societies to make sure that certain information gets out and some doesn't. We should not take the occasion to believe that you are necessarily getting a win because a judge gets up and walks away from the bench, or if a judge even dismisses a case or says, you know what, get him out of here. I've had it happen to me. You shouldn't necessarily take that as a win. You should just, we got to stop being exhibitionists out here and just know the information that you're working with. They are so fed up, as you can see with these the Moorish nationals. They are so fed up with this whole movement. I warned months ago that this was going to happen. And, it's not that necessarily the information or the knowledge that we have is turning the tide as much as it is oversaturation of intellectuals out here, and they're trying to figure out how to cut it off at the pass. That's more of the issue that we're facing. Okay, so the other thing I'll say is that the whole issue with the Moors in the nation that they're founding is that they're going back into a history and trying to live in accordance with that history. as opposed to learning the information and knowledge and making it applicable for each individual. What I mean is they're going back in history books and they've identified with some history and they're going forward with that, as opposed to every individual man or woman making a self-determination of who they are and what rights they actually have and what they can back up in law. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. But I think the issue is the stuff they're doing about the history is still working. I mean, that's the only reason I would think they're still using it, because it still actually works for them. So, I mean, but yeah, I do digress. You're right.
Well, self-determination works for everybody. Okay, we are all individuals. Okay,
Your signal's skipping out.
All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, drop it again. Go ahead.
No, I was just the true power is in your individuality and making a self-determination of who you are.
Exactly.
I don't care what nation you're from or what information, knowledge you bring to the table. If you are not convinced in yourself of who you are, all of it's not going to matter.
Facts. 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Because at the end of the day, again, we are supposed to be the creditors. They're the debtors.
And they'll test you too.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah, we talked about that, man. Good looking out on that, my man. Thank you. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, man. My man was dropping the how to get the Freedom of Information Act going for the passport, and basically getting your whole entire packet back with a gold seal stamp from the Department of State. And it needs, anytime you go to court, you can submit that. Apparently, what he was saying, and boom, that's like 100% evidence that you're not a U.S. citizen and you don't even belong in that lower court. They don't have any jurisdiction.
It's true.
So, yeah. So he showed that. I basically dropped that early in the video. So yeah, get that done whenever you guys can if y'all have your passports. All right. So look, let me ask you a question, Courtney. So suppose somebody wanted to go in and let's say they wanted to submit that affidavit and they still wanted to go in and be an exhibitionist and basically challenge the court pretty much, even though they already submitted an affidavit. How do you think that would play out for them? Well, if they're new to this information, because I guess that's what's going to be the question.
Say that one more time.
If they're new to the information and they decide to submit an affidavit and they still want, let's say it's just traffic court, and they still want to go in and basically exercise, basically combating the judge verbally.
Right. Well, first of all, yeah, it depends on what your affidavit is stating for the record. Second of all, do you know what capacity you're in, and are you able to aver that capacity? Okay. So if you go in there behind an affidavit, you've already set the record. You're just supposed to be coming in there to see what they have to say, if there's any rebuttals to anything that you claimed in that affidavit. That's all you're there for. Number one is, where is the jurisdiction? Has jurisdiction been established on and for the public record? Has the prosecution, has the district attorney met their burden to establish jurisdiction? I'm not here to argue the particulars, because if I argue the particulars, I get caught up in presumptions of law in the legal system, and now that's as good as giving them jurisdiction. The onus is on them. The burden is on them to prove that they have jurisdiction. It can't be assumed.
Exactly. So have you guys been watching Yusuf L's videos of recent? Like he made like 3 videos back to back talking about jurisdiction. Like,
yep,
literally like 3 videos back to back. And I thought that was unusual, because usually when he addresses a topic, he won't address it for like another few months. But he must be getting a lot of people asking him about people challenging jurisdiction. And he was like, yo, when he was coming up, it was common sense that the court had jurisdiction. And then he started going into minimum contacts and this, that, and the third, having a driver's license, all this stuff. And he was like, social security number, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, though, because I'm thinking from what he was saying, let's say, for instance, you had your status corrected, what have you. Even if it was a situation where that stuff was active, that separates, you're still separated from the fictional entity because, again, you being the creditor and them being the debtor and that account being the debtor, that still separates you. That's not necessarily saying that you are that thing. So challenging jurisdiction, I think, would still be effective because you're not basically saying that you're that legal fiction. So yeah, I think you would still be, from my common sense perspective, you would still be able to challenge that jurisdiction, honestly.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't even, like, when they go in there challenging it, they don't even know what jurisdiction means.
Yeah, it's three. My man said right here, John Mello. My man said subject matter is venue, subject matter, and personal jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my man dropped out. Man, he gone. His signal must have gave out on him. But yeah, it's just. But yeah, it was interesting that Yusufel made 3 videos back to back on that. So I'm wondering if he's either watching my feeds or he's watching yours or maybe Knowledge Wells.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very interesting that dude made 3, and like we've been talking about this the last 3 weeks, and he keeps making videos on them. So either he's watching or one of his guys are watching or something like that. But
I ended up getting banned for a while.
From Yusufel?
No, from YouTube.
Get the fuck out of here. They reported your video like that? Yo?
They deleted all my videos, bro. I'm like, damn, I must have been telling the truth.
Yeah, they got you up out of there, yo.
I guess so. I'm like, here's the proof. You know, it was some weird guys calling me and stuff from like, what is that? Like, the UK.
What?
I was about to take a flight, bro. I ended up
calling you, yo. Calling you.
I got to do the address and everything because he didn't know I had an algorithm to my name. It was just talking cash shit. And I was about to fly out there. I let him know I'm the type that does not give a fuck. Like, I have no fear, bro. I'm not. Don't worry.
Hey, I feel you, man. Good thing that ain't happened, man. We need you on the home team. We need you on the home team. But yeah, that's but yeah, they I saw the videos. They made a few videos on you, and I was like, yo. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all are going in extra hard for somebody that's minding their business. Because I think different. I don't think, yo, this guy's an idiot. I'll be like, yo, why they talking about this man so hard? What did he say to them?
Exactly.
And if they ain't say nothing to him, I'm starting to think, well, what the hell is this dude talking about, yo? He must be saying something to piss him off. You know what I mean? That's how I think. And then when I start to put the words together and everything like that and put the pieces together, that's when it really starts to kick in that, yo, they don't like this dude telling the truth.
Yep.
You know,
you know what they're mad about is the fact that I actually have verification from the Supreme Court of my, in the state of Florida, that they have no jurisdiction. And the only reason why I put up certain videos is as an example. I do stuff on purpose to use it as an example, and nothing will ever happen. They already know. I got videos right now where I walk into the courtroom and they run out on all the judges run out on the 6th floor and go through the back door. I got the video. You know,
that's crazy.
Give a fuck about these people, man. I handle business in there, and yeah, I have decorum too. There's nothing they can do.
That's what it is, man. That's what we like to hear. Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, yo, that's what matters, man. Knowing your shit, that's what matters. Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a few more questions, and I think we're going to wrap it up for the day, man. It's been almost an hour. So if anybody got any questions they would like to drop, me or the consultant, please do so. We'll pull them up. We'll take 3 for now, and then if we don't get any in the next minute and a half, then we'll go ahead and zip out. So how was the trip and everything, consultant? How you enjoy yourself, man?
Oh, to El Salvador? Yeah, man. I'm getting ready to go to Ecuador. I got my friend Jonelle. We have a company called Moringa Power down there, and you can't sell in the States right now. So we're pushing it down there. It's doing great. We got like the government and stuff down there involved because they want their citizens to be healthy or whatnot. So we're working on the back end. There's a place called Esmeraldas. It's a black area on the coast in Ecuador where they don't have any universities or nothing like that. So we're actually on the move operations there, and it's going to be nice.
That's dope, y'all.
And we're working with Haiti.
That's what it is, man. You hear about the Haiti president, bro?
Hey, the guy I'm telling you about is best friends with his brother.
Get out of here, yo.
I'm
gonna tell you, bro. Somebody put a video up on or it was a meme. I don't know how true it was though, but they said the 3 countries that wouldn't allow the jab in their country, the presidents mysteriously disappeared, yo, or died.
My girl showed me that this morning. I'm like,
Yo, that
we
is
already
crazy, yo. What? Oh man, that's wild, yo. Man, listen, bro, it ain't a game out here, yo. And you know the Clintons is tied in real heavily with Haiti. They got all kinds of, I mean, down Haiti. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they got all kinds of that down there. So
they tied into the religion that protects them.
Oh yeah, we can't say too much though, bro. That's too much. We got to do that on the private side, yo, because that's a whole lot, yo. But yeah, it was very interesting to me how that transpired, yo. And then they start talking about, the jabs and stuff like that, yo. Like, yo, these dudes was not playing ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's what shit. That's why they had beef with Castro though. They had beef with Castro and that dude Coney for the same reasons. Because dude was not trying to play ball with him, yo. The CIA was trying to take my man out and shit.
You see, they couldn't take Castro out.
Nope, they couldn't get him, yo. He
survived. I think it was 11 attempts on his life.
Nah, I heard it was like 300 or some shit like that, yo.
Oh, well, damn.
Like poison food, darts and shit like that. Like body doubles. Like, god damn, yo.
So
crazy. It's 5 of them presidents in total who were killed for not promoting that voice. Get them. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, bro. It ain't a game out here. It's not a game out here, man. It's serious business. That's wild. The jab.
Courtney look like he going to go play blackjack, man. My boy fresh.
Yo. My man look like Dave Chappelle.
You wrong for that, bro.
Nah, you fresh, man.
Hey, I ain't mad at him, yo. My man got the Benz out and he got the Mercedes out and everything. Look at him, yo.
Dave Chappelle, bro. That's what you give me, man.
My man about to go. My man about to go perform down at the poetry spot and shit.
Now you're getting close.
Oh yeah, poetry slam. Yeah. As I walked in the building, I could smell the effervescence of love.
Yeah, man.
So what Unc at, man? Unc over there in the comment section, chilling or whatever.
Is he? Man.
Ah, boy. But yeah, we ain't got no questions, man. We can zip out.
What'd you say about I got cut off on the jurisdiction? Y'all settled that one?
Oh no, we were just talking about, we was basically just talking about how it was interesting that my man just made so many videos on jurisdiction, like 3 videos on jurisdiction in a week. And I'm like, damn, that's excessive. So we were just wondering if either he was listening or people was asking him from watching our videos, It was just interesting.
Yeah. One thing, and I'm talking about the character versus the actual man. I'm just saying the character. Listening to him kind of, it's almost like everything is agitation now.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect a man for his being astute, for research, and all that kind of thing. I respect that. But for some reason now he's gotten to the point where everything agitates him. He's like an old grumpy man.
You know what I thought it was?
What's that?
No, go ahead. I want you to finish. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you got people out here that are trying to get information. Not everybody knows what you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you cussing everybody out that come on there and ask you a question. Now, here you in the public realm,
Yeah.
you talk about not mixing private with public, and public, and get pissed off when people come and ask you what you call a silly question, or you tell them to go read something. Why would they go read and you giving them all the information?
Right.
True.
So how are you going to get mad at people for taking advantage of the situation that you're presenting them with? You're giving them, you're an open book. Why are you getting mad at these people? Stop cussing people out. Quit being an old woman. But anyways, aside from that, we have to always remember that this information is not necessarily, no one has the monopoly on this information except for the legal system or legal practitioners, but you know what I mean. None of us out here really have the monopoly on it. Now, you might have a procedure, okay, that you might call your own. I don't have a problem with that. But for you to take the high seat and act like this is your information and I'm God and all this kind of stuff, you know, some of us are getting a little bit too big for our britches. We're supposed to love the people. Well, that's what we're here for. We're supposed to love the people. We're supposed to be aiding and helping each other out. All that grumpy stuff and cussing people out, calm and stupid and you idiot and fool and all. Come on, man. Why? Stuff is that.
I mean, dude is a veteran, but yeah, I do get where you coming from though. Like, dude does come off real agitated at times, and I thought at first it was because people were asking stupid questions. Then I started to really wonder it's because more people are starting to learn, and maybe it might be a money thing. You're like, all right, look, y'all cutting into my money. Y'all got motherfuckers asking this, that, and the third. I don't know, but it was very interesting to me that that he came off like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, he just what you get that Superman complex where I am the one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not the way the game's supposed to go. Okay, and we never gonna treat people like that over here. Okay, there is no dumb question. Yes, we do want you to be diligent on your own. We don't want to raise no welfare recipients. Yes, that is true. But it's not for us to be disrespecting nobody like that, cussing people out and all that kind of stuff. We don't rock like that over here. And he's 100% wrong for that. He should not be doing that. All he's doing is talking out of the American jurisprudence books. All he's talking out of the law books. So why are you getting all hissy and pissy about that? Okay, live and let live. Respect.
Yeah, I have to say I agree with that. Let me add my man real quick. Hold on. He dropped out. But yeah, I agree with that, man. Yeah, all that angry shit is not gonna cut it.
No. That ain't right whatsoever. And the jurisdictional issue, I mean, he act like he ain't never said nothing wrong. Now he act like he ain't never been wrong before. Okay? That man been wrong. He been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so he shouldn't be acting like that. Okay? He been wrong too. And because I done caught him. But easy to act like, oh, I had it the whole time and all that kind of stuff. No, you didn't. You ain't have it the whole time. And so he just need to come down off the high horse, and love the people. Get back to what you originally were called, and stop acting like you running the whole game. Because if you were running the whole game, you wouldn't even be on YouTube. You wouldn't even be on YouTube. If you had it like you know what I'm saying? Like you think you got it, you wouldn't even be on YouTube. You still trying to figure stuff out too. You still in the law library trying to figure stuff out too. So stop acting like you got it all together. Because none of us do. We constantly on research. So respect.
I mean, truth be told, if you ask me, we all really should be working together. But hey, not everybody sees it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
it is what it is.
Are they building family or an empire? That's my question. Are you building family? Do you talk to your mama like that? Do you talk to your brothers and sisters like that? Because we couldn't be family. You talking to me like that, and I'm coming to you for the information that you say you got. No, that ain't working. That ain't working.
Word. Oh, great, great insight right there. You heard it here first. But it is what it is, man. All right, fellas. So I guess we can drop these statements. I got no new questions. So yes, the answer is yes, Uncle. The answer is yes. So boom. That's gonna be it for the night for me. Make sure y'all tune in. I might jump in this week. I might end up doing a live like Thursday night or something like that. We're gonna see how it goes. I will be dropping the video between now and then and let you know what it is. I guess knowledge. Will I give him the floor now?
Hey, listen, everybody. Thanks for seeing. Make sure you like. Make sure you like when you come in the door every time for these videos and things. I was gonna say that we want to. I wish Unc was on here, our secretary, because I had spoken to him about some things that we want to do. I tell you what, I'll run probably a live or something tomorrow or Tuesday. Just as soon as I want to get all the birth certificates all printed up and get them out, and the IDs and stuff like that. And then I want to make an announcement of the group that I sent them out to, so that y'all know when to expect them and all that kind of stuff. But I'll probably, like I said, run a live on Monday or Tuesday. Then we'll make some announcements and stuff like that. But appreciate A6 for letting us on, and stay together, family. Stay strong.
No doubt, no doubt. Consulting us on you, my man.
Oh, I'm cool, man. Like always.
My man. All right, bet. So look, the registration to join the American National Consulate is up for now, but we will be, if everything goes according to plan, we should be good back up and running by December, correct?
Yep.
Enrollment
period will be December 22nd through the 29th. You'll have that window.
Yep. So don't miss that, man. If you missed the first one, now's your chance to scrape the change up, jump in the squad, man, and get it moving. You know what I mean? So that's going to be what it is. All right. So for the night, it is a foreign national born natural A6. I will holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.
All right. Peace, family.
All right.